Hi guys, welcome back to Travelling Tonka and welcome to a very first on this channel as we start a mini-series of reviews of theme parks. First up we arrive in a very rural, quiet area of Belgium called Castelli, and we're at the theme park called Bobbejaanland. Now I'm not 100% sure that is how you pronounce it, but I didn't hear anyone say it anywhere, so I actually have no idea how it's meant to be pronounced, but that's my effort for it for now. For this trip we based ourselves in Liège in Belgium, partly because we were doing two other theme parks on this trip at the same time. This one is approximately 1 hour from there, so it was ideal. Just a little hint, if you were planning on doing this and the two other theme parks that I'll do videos on are Wallaby in Belgium and Toverland in the Netherlands, all approximately 1 hour from Liège, hence why we based ourselves there. But we actually are from the UK, but we flew into Cologne as it's always cheaper to fly there and it's cheap to hire the car as well. So we have done a lot of the theme parks around Europe previous to this trip, all the big ones. This one I'd never actually heard of until I'd done a bit more researching, but it's always nice to find hidden gems or different ones in different areas, even though they might not be as thrilling as the big ones. But you know, I'll show you what this one has to offer. This ride that you're seeing here is called the Sledgehammer, and I'm sure you've probably seen many of these at different theme parks, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by this one. It actually was quite thrilling and powerful and fast. The ride didn't actually last that long, but it is definitely more forceful than ones I've been on before, so that makes it a bit better. We are here at the end of October and around Halloween, so all three theme parks that we're attending have a Halloween theme. This one not so much, but it did have plenty going on. But with that, I believe the schools in Belgium were on half term as well as in the UK, so unfortunately there was a lot of queuing, and you'll probably wait in between 45 minutes to an hour for most rides. In the background you'll see a ride called Fury, which I didn't have footage of because it was dark by the time we got on that, but it's a very good roller coaster, forward and backwards momentum, but yeah, you can see that from there. The queue time was never less than an hour also. The price of the tickets for this theme park, however, were very, very cheap. I'm not sure if they do this promotion every October or Halloween, but we only paid €25 per person, so that is very good value comparing it to other theme parks. That said, this isn't the biggest one in the world, and you can walk literally around the whole, it's just one big circle around the lake to get around it, so it's very easy to navigate. I think that said, that might have what contributed to all the heavy queuing. It doesn't actually look that busy when you're walking around here, but that's probably because everybody's on the rides. And also this theme park doesn't have many big rides, so if there's more of the adult people there, like for this ride example, there's probably only 4 or 5 really biggish rides to go on, so obviously everybody is queuing at those. This one here, although it looks quite thrilling, it was actually really slow, and I was quite disappointed with it. I thought it was going to be a bit faster, and you know, but it seemed, it's like one of the older type roller coasters. It wasn't that exciting, but you know, you've got to try these ones out. That sometimes they can surprise you. This one was just quite bland, really. It is based over a little mini lake around the attraction though, so that's quite cool when you're going around it, and also when you're at the top you get a really good view of the whole of the theme park as well, because it is actually quite a pretty park, even though it looks a little bit dated in places, but it's all very clean everywhere you go, and you know, like, it does look a little bit old school, but it's quite a nice park. So as you can see here, there's these little booths for Halloween. They're all different attractions and different scares and different frights, and they're scattered around the park. On the map you do actually get a good insight as to what is on and how scary they are. They all actually have a rating, which is perfect if you've got younger children who might not like the higher level of scare, so they have ratings from like 3 to 5, so you can decide which ones to go and try the lower one first, and then if you like that and it's not too bad, you can go up to the next level. With all of these though, they are extra costs. You do have to pay per person to go on them, and you buy them at the little booths and then you go around. We only did one while we were there, but I'd say it was worth it. We paid about €7 each for it, obviously because you have to pay the actors that are in there, and it's ongoing all day, so that would be why you pay for those. There are some free things about Halloween around the park, and there's different zones as well, which are also labelled in level of scariness. So obviously if you are a little bit timid around these things, you just don't go through those areas, but it's clearly marked as you walk around. This is the lake that is in the middle of the park. As you can see, as a sunset, and it's a very pretty view over there. You literally just walk all the way around it, so you can see the roller coaster in the background there. That's the one Typhoon that we were at earlier, so it is really easy in that respect to navigate, but also it's obviously not the biggest of parks. We found that buying our tickets online through the actual theme park site was best. I did search around on different third-party ones, and it was the cheapest to book them through there, so that's something to note as well. Also, they do have an app that you can save your tickets in, and it also tells you the wait times and the map and everything like that. It was a pretty good app, and it worked fairly well. Another thing that just in case you do forget, when you leave the park, you do have to pay for parking, and you will need to get a ticket for it to get out the barrier at the end. You can either do this online when you buy your tickets prior to it, or there is a machine at the entrance which you can get your ticket from there. It's €13 per vehicle, so you don't want to get all the way back to your car and then realise that you haven't bought a ticket, so especially if you're parking far away from it. As you're probably noticing from around, there's not that many people dressed up for Halloween, which I'm quite surprised at. This would have been the night before Halloween. I just would have thought there would have been more, but I think it's probably because this theme park is probably aimed at younger kids more than adults, so maybe they're doing other things, but you don't see many people as you would think that would be dressed up. As you're going around, you'll see the different food and drink places. There wasn't as many as you do get at some theme parks. Also, we did have a few issues with language. I thought, generally speaking, as we visited many places throughout Europe, there's a lot of English. This area was predominantly Flemish and French, and although they understood you and they spoke English, it was not as common as I thought it would be. They did, however, have this annoying thing which most theme parks seem to be adopting now, in when you buy drinks you get the plastic cup that is refundable, so they charge you for it and then you have to hand it back to get your money back, which I'm guessing a lot of people either forget or put it in the bin or can't be bothered to carry it around, so it does become a little bit annoying, but that seems to be everywhere nowadays anyway. As we're coming round to Typhoon now, which is actually probably the highlight ride in the theme park, if you're looking at it, you might have noticed that it has a very similar bit there to what Saw does at Thorpe Park in the UK, and it is quite a similar ride to that. One thing I did notice when I was queuing up for a lot of the rides was there's a severe lack of theme to each one, which I think when you're spending quite a long time in queues waiting for rides, it can get very boring if you don't have any type of theme to sort of keep you entertained as you're going through the queues. The sun went down very quickly now, and that was pretty much all I could get in the daytime. I did try and record some of these evening nighttime bits, but my camera's not brilliant for that, and this is a ride that you can't really see much of at the moment, but this was another hour queue as well. It was nice walking around here, but it was a very distinct lack of lighting apart from in this area, so it was quite dark as you're going around, so if you've got young kids again and the Halloween themes on, it might be a little bit intimidating. Overall though, I think for the price that we paid for this theme park, it was definitely worth a visit. I wouldn't say it was somewhere I'd come back, but I'm glad I've been there now, and it's another one that, to sort of compare to different theme parks around Europe and the world, it's always nice to have that comparison. I must say though, the price for food and drinks, from what I've experienced at other places, this one was very, very reasonably priced, so that's always a good thing when you're spending a whole day in a park. As we leave the park now, I just want to say thank you for joining me and checking in, and catch me in the next theme park video where we visit Wallaby, Belgium in Vavre. See you soon.